Hey y'all, so here is part 2 of what we started yesterday. So I'd taken that berry wire there and cut some pieces off of it, and that'll give me those 2 little flowers. And then the roses in the middle, that's made out of the same material that we used to wrap our stone with yesterday. So I cut off a little bit of bead wire and I'm melting those down. Those, whenever you melt them, they make like little balls, and we use those for embellishments. And when I pull those off of there, I'm going to quench them, and then I'm going to make sure that they're kind of the size that I want and lay them out just a little bit there so you kind of get the idea of what we're going to be looking at. And then I'll take my pliers and I'll file down the back of those just a little bit to give them a little bit of a flat surface, because everything needs to have a flat surface in order for us to get a good solder seam. So then I pull my silver sheet out, decide how big of a piece that I need. We use that very sparingly, considering that silver is now like $95 an ounce or something like that. It's pretty close if it hasn't hit 95 already. I don't know that I've checked it today. But anyway, so I'm going to off camera cut that out with my jeweler saw, and then come back with my stamps, and we'll put our maker's mark and the purity, which is 925 sterling silver. We'll hammer that on there. And then after I stamp it, I will turn the metal over and kind of hammer it back flat, because we need everything to have a smooth contact. And then I'll flux it. And then you'll see me struggle a little bit when I start to heat up that flux, because as it starts to clean the metal, it gets a little sticky. And so I knew better to do what I did. But anyway, so I lay my components out, put those where I kind of want them, and then I'm not going to worry so much about them being exactly where I want them, because I can kind of move them around with my soldering pick. And that's what I was trying to do, and they were sticking to my soldering pick, which aggravated me just a little bit, but I knew better. But anyway, so we will get those put where they need to be. We're heating it up a little bit, and you see that it starts to bubble and clean the metal, and it starts to change colors. That's the oxidation and stuff coming off of it. That's how I understand it. But anyway, that's how it works. So you see there, things are starting to move around. And I'm not left-handed, but I tend to use my soldering pick with my left hand. And there you see it's stuck, so I had to heat it back up. But anyway, so after this, I'm going to get them placed where I want them exactly. So I've got enough room to put our bead wire on after. I could have done it all at one time, but it makes it a lot easier if all of your components are soldered down and then you shape your bead wire to go around it. That way you don't have everything, all these little parts moving. So here I'm going to stick solder it. I had to move my light a little bit, because then you can see the metal change colors and know when it's time to let your solder flow. So I overheated it just a little bit there, but I wanted to make sure that the solder went everywhere I wanted it to go. So then we're going to quench it and then pick it up and make sure that everything's soldered down, and that's part 2.